What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Friday Night Show. I'm your host, Craig, and this is the Anfield Agenda. I hope you're all keeping well. We have lots to go through tonight. We'll talk about the Merseyside derby. We'll talk about some transfer news as well. We'll have a chat about the weekend's fixtures and absolutely anything else that you want to have a chat about. Let's see who's in the chat tonight before we get started. Kyle Martin's in there, Scotty's in, Mossy's in, Liverpool fans in, Fibble's in, Andres Iniesta's in Besta, excuse me. Gakul's in, Tom Boland's in, the REUNITE Sam, and Pray. Guys, how are we? Couple of more people coming in now as well. Calvin, Azig and Fun Gaming. Guys, look, I'm just going to grab my headphones here because I'm not on my own. I did tell you I had somebody coming on tonight, so bear with me 2 seconds. Right, here we are, back to normality now with the headphones on. And Dave, I have you on the line. Dave, how the hell are you, mate? Long time no speak.
Long time no speak is right, buddy. Yeah, good, thank you. Good to be back. Good to be back.
I hope everybody remembers Dave. Dave was one of the originals, one of the founding fathers, as we like to say, Dave, here on the channel.
Yeah. No, it's good to be back, guys. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you what, mate, it's been one hell of a season so far since we've spoken, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been cracking. Absolutely cracking. Like, expected, to be honest. I think when we spoke, when we were speaking with the guys and also yourself at the beginning of the season, this is not a surprise to me. I thought we were well on course to win the league this year, and I'm not changing my mind. Wednesday's result showed if Liverpool played the way they can play, they can destroy any team. So I'm well up for this.
Well, look, Dave, it's one of the biggest games of the season. We recently had United. I want to quickly get your thoughts on that 0-0 boring draw at Old Trafford.
It was a strange game. I do agree with Klopp. I think the injuries kind of upskittle things a small bit because, of course, you go into a game with a plan and kind of you know the players who are playing and for the opposition, and kind of you lose 3 players from the opposition that quickly. Your game plan goes out the window as well. I was slightly disappointed by the performance, but look, and then the Old Trafford taking 4 points off United in any season is good. You kind of look at the end of the game. We're still top of the league. We're still top of the league now. And it could be a huge point. That save by Alisson could be absolutely pivotal. So, it has its positives, but it's there's negatives there as well. But the great thing was coming back and just absolutely wiping Watford with the floor. That was huge. That was absolutely huge. I'm really happy with that.
We needed to put in a bit of a statement performance, all right. And I was quite pragmatic, Dave, about the whole United thing because all week I had a 1-1 draw in my head building up to that game. And look, it unfolded probably how none of us expected to. But as you said, big picture stuff, it put us back on top of the table. Win against Watford then set us up nicely for the game against the Bitters now on Sunday.
Yeah. And just going back to what I said, if we play like we did against Watford, we can beat any team in the Premier League very, very easily. I'd argue that case against anyone. Watford are the best of the rest. They're 7th. Everton have had a shocking season so far, and even if we lost every single game and Everton won every single game, they still couldn't finish ahead of us. So that's how far we are ahead of Everton. It'd be interesting to see what kind of team they put out. I know you want to probably move on to that, but our 11 against their 11, derby or no derby, we should be beating them fairly handy.
We really should. I see one of the comments here from the listeners. Tom Boland says, Dave, the quality man, with the original fuck them comment.
Fuck them is right.
That's lived on. That has long lived on, my friend.
Good.
Ever since you've come out with that one. That was a beaut, by the way. Right, let's push on. Merseyside derby, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go through a few stats before I get Dave's thoughts on team selections and score predictions. So since 2010, which is the last time Everton beat us, by the way, there have been 16 games with 7 wins for the Reds, 9 draws, and of course absolutely no wins for Everton. Everton have conceded 13 goals from set pieces this season, which is the joint worst with Watford. So lots of opportunities there. And if memory serves, I think we were top of the list for goals from set pieces. I think. Maybe it was corners. But I remember we were top of one of those lists anyway. Sunday will be the 100th League Merseyside derby to take place at Woodison. Liverpool have won 33 of those games, more than any other English club to play a league game at Goodison Park. So there you go. 31 Premier League games since the Reds last lost to a club outside of the top 6. We've won 26 of them and drawn 5 from the 31 played. And there's really only one fact that we need to know going into this game, Dave, and that's Liverpool have kept 16 clean sheets this season. 16 clean sheets, pal. That is by far and away the most I remember in my adult lifetime supporting this club.
Yeah, I can't remember. What have we conceded in the league? 15, is it? Absolutely
something ridiculously miserly like that.
Yeah, and you got to think about it as well. We actually, if you look at that, let's say the back five, defenders and keeper, and possibly, let's say, put two midfielders in there, we haven't actually had our strongest backline playing together this season. If you include, let's say, Fabinho in there or Wijnaldum, whatever you have, so that's huge. So it just goes to show, kind of like any defense, we put in there, maybe minus Moreno or something like that, can cope, and they can, very confident getting the clean sheet. And the thing is, Liverpool only need to get 1 or 2 goals. It's not like last season where we needed to blitz teams. We're so confident in the back that it's very seldom we concede goals in the league. We've only conceded 15, so it's huge, mate, because that was always our weak point. That was always our Achilles heel, is the back line and conceding sloppy goals and things like that. But the concentration has been amazing this season.
I don't know if you managed to catch Jurgen Klopp's press conference earlier on, Dave, but he was talking about Bobby Firmino, and it looks like he should be okay, but still sounds a little bit touch and go to me.
He's a warrior, apparently, fitness wise and just strength. He's meant to be brilliant. Firmino. I think that was the first game he's missed since 2017 or something. I wouldn't start him. I'd have him on the bench, and I might get slaughtered for that. But just because of, if you needed to change something, maybe if it's not going your way at Everton, which is, look, it's going to be a tricky game because it is a derby game. They're going to be well up for it, but I wouldn't myself change a winning team, especially the way we won against Watford on Wednesday.
That's exactly my thoughts, Dave, and I said that during the week as well. Divock Origi is the player who came in for Bobby Firmino, and I thought he put in an excellent shift along with everybody else in the Liverpool team. And you can't drop a player that goes and plays that well, in my humble opinion, anyway.
No, absolutely not. His second half performance is absolutely brilliant. He offers so much more than Sturridge as an option. I think Daniel Sturridge's day has been and gone, but Origi does have something to fight for, whether that's a new contract or putting himself in the shop window. But no, I definitely wouldn't. His first half wasn't great, sorry, but his second half, he probably got a rocket in the arse, and he was everywhere. He was fantastic in the second half, and I personally wouldn't change the winning team like that.
For our new subscribers that don't know Dave or remember Dave lives in Germany, and Dave, like October, is very well up in German football. So I can't talk about this game coming up, Dave, without looking at the midfield. And for me, it comes down to a straight shootout between, well, we've got Fabinho and Gini nailed on in my team. So it's between Henderson, Milner and Naby Keita. And I want to know your feelings on Naby Keita this season.
He hasn't been the Naby that I watched last season, let's say, with Leipzig. Now, I give look. There's a few reasons. I think. Look, he still is getting to grips with the language. Premier League is miles ahead of the Bundesliga. He's also playing more on the left of a midfield, where he was kind of like more of a number 10 or an attacking midfielder for Leipzig. But what we've been seeing, I think we've seen the real start of it against Burnley that time. He was fantastic in that game when we beat them away, and he's slowly coming on. He has had a few niggling injuries, which is always going to interrupt kind of your settle-in period. But I think I wouldn't start him Sunday. He definitely bench player because I think he can bring energy from the bench. But we haven't seen the real Naby. I can guarantee that. Once he gets settled in, kind of gets more to grips with the language, kind of, I suppose, gets accustomed to the Premier League as well, because it is a completely different league and Klopp's intensity. There's no doubt he will be a fantastic football player. He's only 23, 24 years old as well. He's a kid. So I've no problems.
I think he's even a little bit younger, if memory serves. I think he's 22. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, you could be spot on there. Like, he is. He's only a baby. He's a very, very, very good football player who will come into this team. And he will come into his own as well. Be beautiful if he got a goal maybe coming off the bench on Sunday, because I think he needs one goal, and I think that he'll just crack on from that then.
Lots of comments in the chat agreeing with you around the Divock Origi start. He's called Big Cock Divock on here, by the way, after Furno. Furno named him that at one point, so we stuck with it. So
Yeah.
V8 reckons Big Cock Divock better than Messi and Ronaldo. And then who else have we got? Tom Boland said, agreed with Dave. He deserves to start, absolutely. And then Gonads was saying that Bobby was out running today, but Klopp said he looked good. But as you alluded to earlier on, Dave wouldn't commit to him starting on Sunday. With Bobby Firmino, that is.
I wouldn't commit to start. Like, I know there's a cliche, you know, if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're probably fit enough to start. But I think see how the game. Well, obviously see how the game goes in game management. But I do think Bobby's going to be one for maybe 20 to 15 minutes to go, just to shake them up a bit, because you know you look at Everton's defense; they're not the quickest in the world, and Bobby does have that intelligent pace more than anything. So I'd be leaving him on the bench, to be honest with you. I just wouldn't change that winning team.
I love our subscribers. I'm just reading through the chat here now. They don't miss a trick. Got Cool, he's 24. VA, he's 24. Liam Kell, 24. Angus, 24. The Revenant, he's 24. So you were spot on, Dave. Naby Keita is 24.
Yeah, he's 24. Yeah, but yeah, again, still, he's only a kid. He's a very, very young lad. So there's no problem with him there.
From an Everton perspective, I suppose we should really address their danger men. And for me, Richarlison has done exactly what he done at Watford. Showed up for the start of the season, hit the ground running, and then went into hiding.
Yeah, but Sigurdsson is coming into a bit of form. He played well against Cardiff. It'd be interesting to see whether Bernard will start. I think their front line is probably going to be Sigurdsson, Bernard, Walcott, and Richarlison. But no, you're spot on. But if there's a game where you want Richarlison, or you think Richarlison could do well, it could be this game, because he's done it before. He can be a big game player. But I'd be worried if I was an Everton fan with him as well. I'd say he's a bit pissed off, because he was probably promised the sun, the moon, and the stars when he went to Everton, as in quality wise, football wise, and it just they haven't delivered the season. Everton, they've been absolutely pathetic, which is beautiful, but I'd be surprised if he's there next season.
The thing about Richarlison that I always think, if I'm going into this derby and I'm Jurgen Klopp, I'm telling our players to go out there and wind him up, stand on the back of his heels, pull his jersey, touch him in the ribs. You know, he just seems like that type of player, like John Joe Shelby was for us back in the day, that can lose his mind at any minute. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And it'd be more Fabinho, I'd be saying that to kind of like two Brazilians, you know what I mean? Kind of getting his ear and really piss him off, because Van Dijk doesn't need to do it. He's that good of a defender. You could be pissed off or as calm as you like with Van Dijk. You're just not going to get past him. But yeah,
you just snigger at him. Van Dijk could just snigger at him if you even looked at him.
Yeah, just go away, boy, and stop annoying me. Yeah, that'd be a job for Fabinho, I'd say. You know, just to kind of get in there, because Fabinho does. We've seen it now in a few games. He does have a bit of shithousery, which is beautiful as well. So that'd be the man for the job.
As you said, Sigurdsson has hit a little bit of form as well, but we can't forget that they do have the world's greatest T-Rex in goal, the man with the plan, the man that handed us 3 points earlier on in the season, the penalty-saving expert, England's saviour, Jordan Pickford.
Not too worried about him, to be honest. He's had a shite season. He's been really poor. Distribution, his crazy little arms, everything. No,
he doesn't make mistakes like Alisson, though, Dave. Remember when he said that? I don't make mistakes.
And he never will. Do you know what I mean? So just keep on talking that shite, because talk about becoming an absolute laugh and a joke of a goalkeeper. You've just nailed one there on the head.
We might be a little bit biased in this one, but there is one Everton player who I always have a small piece of time for, and that is, of course, our very own Seamus Coleman. I always rated him as a player. I mean, that was one steal, by the way, that they got when they signed Seamus Coleman.
Yeah, great right back, great servant for Everton, brilliant for Ireland as well. Yeah, a good time for him. Yeah, being slightly biased because he is Irish, but of course. But again, another player who I think has passed it. His unfortunate leg break against Wales, we haven't seen the real Seamus Coleman back, and I think, unfortunately as well, because look, I never want to see any football player get injured, you know what I mean, and badly injured like that. But he has lost something big time. Very intelligent player still, you know, and he could be in the mind 2-3 yards quicker. But when you're playing, I don't know who's going to be on the left. I'd say it's going to be Origi if it's going to be anyone on the left. But if I was Klopp, I'd be probably putting Salah on the left, just to burn him for the pace.
On that, actually, talking about Salah, I mentioned this when we were played United. I could not believe that we didn't switch Salah from Luke Shaw over to Ashley Young, because Luke Shaw, let's be fair, had Salah on toast in that game. I hate saying that. I really do hate saying that. I thought Luke Shaw was excellent in that game for United, and I was so surprised we didn't switch Salah over to the other side.
Was it a case where Luke Shaw was really good, or Salah just had a really bad off day because he wasn't himself? And if Salah's on a good day, let's be honest, it'll be the complete opposite. He'd absolutely roast. He'd roast him. So it's a difficult one. I don't know what happened to Mo against United. He was just, I was shouting at him to get taken off. I was disappointed when Sturridge came on because I didn't think he would offer anything. But I think it was just Mo having an off day, mate. To be honest with you, I can't explain why. He's obviously allowed off days, but I don't know. But it's a good point. I wondered if you did make that change, would it have had an impact on the game? So
Young picked up a yellow with 20 minutes to go as well, so he couldn't have even tackled Mo or went in on him unless he won the ball cleanly. He was going to be sent off. So look, it was just something I thought about during that game. But on the Watford game and looking ahead to the Everton game, were you shocked to see Sadio Mane pick to go through the centre? Because I had to scratch my eyes 3 or 4 times. I was saying during commentary of the game, hang on, Origi's out on the left here, Mane through the centre. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it either, but I was delighted. Obviously, I was delighted when you see him play like that. Just goes to show how much of an intelligent football player he is, because you can play across the front three in any position. But no, I was really surprised, but it was a great surprise because he was absolutely phenomenal.
I want to pick your mind on a couple of things German football related, Dave, but before I do, I just want to get your prediction for the game on Sunday.
3-1 Liverpool.
Same as I said myself. As he said, Keita has been inspired, or said he's been inspired by Fabinho's form, which is always good to hear. Players talking each other up in the squad as well. What else have we got? Craig Storm Freya is due to hit on Sunday afternoon. 45 to 50 miles per hour winds, said Papa. Better not interfere with the damn game, mate. Just better not. We need these 3 points. And Everton, that stadium's rocky as fuck as it is anyway. We don't want the thing blown down. So, fingers crossed that storm doesn't hit too badly. As I said, look, guys, I will come back to everybody in the chat and we will go through Everton ourselves a little bit later on. But since I have Dave on, I want to pick his brain on all things German football related. As you can see, Dave, the thumbnail and the title of tonight's stream is Liverpool linked to Borussia Monchengladbach defender Matthias Ginter. And I want to know your thoughts on Ginter, your thoughts or what you've heard, if anything, in Germany about this one. And would you like to see that what's the word I'm looking for? Klopp to be reunited with Matthias Ginter at Liverpool like he was at Dortmund?
I'm not sure, if I'm being honest with you. Especially what people are saying is he's going to be a replacement for Matip, and Matip's been really good the last few games. I can't see Liverpool selling him. Ginter's a good player. You'll see him now. Gladbach are playing Bayern this weekend, and Bayern don't like going to Gladbach at all. So it'd be interesting to see him up against, let's say, the likes of Lewandowski and all that. But he's a very good defender. But I think, what is he? He's 25, 26 years old now. He's a tall lad. Klopp, obviously, he knows him. He was kind of there for, I think, maybe 2 years while Klopp was still there. He's a good player, but I think that's better than out there, Craig, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we seem to be linked with a lot of German players over the last couple of weeks, or a lot of players in the German media actually as well. I was shocked when I read this. When he is 25 years of age, as you said, he's made over 50 Bundesliga appearances so far from Monchengladbach since joining from Dortmund in 2017. And look, it is kind of getting towards silly season, Dave. We know that the transfer window opens pretty much the minute the Premier League season ends, because we've got that shortened window now. So look, we're going to see more of this stuff as well. Another thing that popped up recently and we spoke about last night in the stream was Julian Brandt. That's somebody me and you spoke about many moons ago, because he's been linked with Liverpool, maybe the last 3 or 4 windows. So anything over there on Julian Brandt perhaps joining Liverpool?
Not joining Liverpool, as I said. I think I said it months ago, mate. If he's going anywhere, he's going to Bayern Munich. Ribery is retiring. Ribery's retiring at the end of the season. Robin is probably on his last legs as well. So I think with this get-out clause, it'd make sense. Or Bayern would kind of really, really push from there. And if it came up against Bayern and Liverpool, not because of the size of the teams or anything like that, but he'd probably stay in Germany, to be honest with you.
This 25 million euro buyout clause, is that legit? Has that been reported as factual in Germany?
I think so. Yeah, I think because he has a certain period left on his contract as well, that it kind of gets activated or something. I'm not sure if it has if it determines where Leverkusen finish, but apparently there is. It seems to be legit. There is a get out clause there, yeah, or a buyout clause, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I said to the guys a while back that you'd said to me many, many moons ago that Bayern Munich probably was his preferred destination if he was to make that move, which is unfortunate. But that brings us round nicely to I suppose, the one we all hope is a bit of good news from the German side, and that is Timo Werner.
Yeah, there is talk that he's agreed a contract with Bayern Munich, but there's been no fee agreed with Bayern Munich, and kind of from what I've been reading, Leipzig are kind of scratching their heads, denying everything, going, this is news to us. If Bayern are tapping them up, we report them. There's no problem there, because Leipzig have also said that they will not be selling any of their players to Bayern Munich for the immediate future anyway. I've said it as well. Liverpool and Leipzig have a really good relationship because of the Naby Keita deal as well. And look, his best mate is playing for Liverpool. And if anyone thinks that Naby Keita hasn't been on the phone to Timo Werner saying, look, this is a really good club, I'm loving it. Obviously, I'm not having the best season ever, but look, the way the manager has treated me, kind of what he expects, the way this club is going. Them conversations are definitely being had between the two players. And you look at who Bayern are trying to sign, or they are going to sign, they'll have to comply with FFP as well. They have Hernandez signing from Atletico for 85 million euro. They have a few aging players who are not going to bring in any money. So I'd be surprised. I'm not saying it's out of the question, but I'd be surprised if Werner does end up at Bayern Munich.
Did you hear anything in the German media? A couple of weeks ago, there was some rumours going around that Leipzig were trying to tie Timo Werner down to a new deal. That new deal had a release clause of 63 million euro if one of the top 10 clubs in Europe came in for him. Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't, to be honest. No, not saying it's plausible or it happened, but no, I haven't heard anything. But I don't think it'd be to define a top 10 team in Europe. I think it would be the way it's going in the Bundesliga now. It's between kind of, I suppose, Frankfurt and Leipzig for the fourth place for the Champions League spot. I'd fancy Frankfurt to get that fourth spot, if I'm honest with you. So unless, let's say, I think the release clause could be, okay, if we get into the Champions League, your contract or your get out clause is X, just the exact same as it happened with Naby Keita. If the year we signed him last season, I think Leipzig finished, was it 5th or 6th? So we got him at a lower price then. I think that's the way they will probably be looking to structure a new contract.
You're on Frankfurt, so I can't let you go. There's two more players. Now, every time I think I'm finishing up, Dave, another one pops into my head. Jovic, the striker from Frankfurt, is on loan from Benfica. There was lots and lots of links from Liverpool to him. Then there was all that nonsense about Salah would fuck off if he came because of some religious nonsense that doesn't make any sense to anybody. But I want to get your thoughts on him as a player.
Very, very good striker. Really, really good. He's been one of the top strikers in the Bundesliga this season. Fantastic player. Where's he going to go? It's a very good question. Look, he's only 21. A lot of talk about Barcelona, though, over here trying to sign him. But again, it goes back to Barcelona, and will Barcelona have the money? Strange and all as that sounds, those are really interesting, just to move on, I suppose, not move away from it, but move on to Barcelona. About the amount of money Barcelona now paying on wages is just ridiculous. For every 100 euro they make, Barcelona, 80 euro goes out in wages. So how they're going to get this money together, because they usually pay huge wages, it's going to be really interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I don't know how much value Benfica have in him, but he's tore the Bundesliga apart this season. He's doing really well in the Europa League as well for them.
Yeah, on that thing about Barcelona, I read earlier on, I was looking at this new kit deal that Manchester City had signed with Puma, and I was looking through the highest rated kit deals and who gets what. And Barcelona, by a country mile, they get 123 million or something a year from Nike for the kit deal. It's
ridiculous, yeah. It's ridiculous what they make. And then also as well that they're trying to redevelop the new camp as well. So that's going to cost them a fortune. Just like Real Madrid, they've texted you to the group there a few weeks ago regarding Real Madrid, they've got a loan now, and they're trying to do up the Bernabeu, and Barcelona can do the same thing. But it just goes to show, and I kind of change it around, how good of a position Liverpool are in, financially wise, that kind of thing, because these clubs are going to have to start conforming with FFP, and they can't be getting loans in from left, right, and centre. We've seen what happened with Juventus. A bank, they weren't able to get a loan from a bank, so they had to raise a 200 million bond, which is shit or bust, really. And they're just after going out paying 400,000 a week for Aaron Ramsey.
And yet you see that bullshit link of 197 million to come and sign Mohamed Salah that they just haven't got.
Absolutely no chance in that happening. Absolutely zero chance, unless Juventus get taken over by another Arab this summer. That isn't happening. I can just guarantee that, because they just can't afford it.
Last one, Dave, before I let you go, and this comes from one of our listeners. Brian Morrissey wants to know, can you ask Dave about Leon Bailey of Bayer Leverkusen?
He's had a hit and miss season. I don't think he's going to be at Leverkusen for too long, to be perfectly honest. He's a very good player. He's a really, really good player. He hasn't been hitting, the form he was last season. It's going to be interesting to see. I personally think he'll stay there. He'll be at Leverkusen next year. He's played 50, 60 games for Leverkusen. He's only got, I think he's just past double figures, which isn't setting the world alight. So there's been a lot of talk from him, but I think there's been a lot of hype about him as well. He's a speed merchant, which is good, but he's very raw. I don't know, I suppose maybe the system he's playing in at Leverkusen, it doesn't really suit him, but his return for what you expect for the way he's been hyped hasn't been great.
Dave, look, mate, it's been a pleasure catching up even. It's been great. We must do this more often. It's been too long.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know you're heading over for the Fulham game in a couple of weeks, mate, so enjoy that one. I hope you've got a ball. And I want to see some pictures, mate. Send us some photos.
I will do.
As always, Dave, an absolute pleasure, mate. I'll catch up with you soon, buddy.
Cheers, pal. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye, Dave. Right, guys, it's just you and me now. Let me just get these headphones off. God, that feels weird, actually. The difference and the headphones on and off. Look, we'll get stuck into your questions now. We'll get stuck into anything you want to talk about. We'll go through the game of the weekend. I want to know your thoughts on Liverpool's team selection. I want to know your thoughts on Jurgen Klopp's press conference. And lots of other bits and pieces as well. Right, so let me see who have we got in and what questions have we got. I will go later tonight, by the way, guys. Don't worry, this stream won't just be 1 hour tonight. I'm going to push on till about 11:15 to make up for the fact that we had Dave on for the 30 minutes or so. Okay, let me just close down a couple of things and we'll go from there. Okay, where are your comments? Right, there we go. 3 teams in Germany finished with the same points last season, said Pragmaverts. I did see actually that Borussia Dortmund lost 2-1 to Augsburg. I was watching that before I came on today's stream, guys. That was a shock. I have to say, it really was. De Jong is a magnificent player. He'll be great for Barcelona, which he will. But serious money as well. He's on for a player of his age. De Ligt is a dream signing, said Sam. How are we, guys? Welcome to everybody that's come in, by the way. Before we push on, I just want to let everybody know about our competition. A couple of people have seen mention it in the chat. The channel is 1 year old on March the 12th. I'm never sure if it's the 11th, the 12th, or the 13th, so I've just gone with the 12th. So we're 1 year old on March the 12th, and to celebrate the fact that we're just about to turn 1, we've teamed up with our friends at Score Draw yet again to give you guys a chance to win any of the Score Draw LFC retro shirts. The winner will be able to go on to scoredraw.com, pick the shirt of their choice, and we'll get it posted out to them. Now, to enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel on here, which I'm sure most of you guys have, and then just go over to Twitter and follow at ScoreDrawRetro. The handle is at the bottom of that image there on the screen, at ScoreDrawRetro, and then you're into that competition to win any of those shirts. So best of luck to everybody, and thank you as always to Score Draw. They've looked after us a lot this season. We've done many giveaways with them, so thank you so much for that one. And on Sunday as well, we're going to be giving away the 2 signed John Barnes photographs as well. So again, to be into a chance to win that, you just have to subscribe to the channel, and then we're giving away another one on Instagram. So check out the Anfield Agenda Instagram page at Anfield Agenda. And Kev has I keep saying tweet. Kev has a post up there with all the information on how to enter. So look, lots and lots of stuff to give away. We're trying to get as much as we can because it's our birthday. We're going to be 1 year old. How quickly has that year gone, by the way? I mean, I have to say, it's absolutely flown by to me. We're on the road to 10k, as you can see. We're heading towards 9,500. The countdown has officially begun. We've 11 days left to go to get those last 580 odd subscriptions to try and hit 10k before we're 1 year old. Okay, what else we got? Lots of people as well just saying goodbye to Dave. Trevor Beattie, thank you for the super chat, mate. Very kind of you. There's Dave in the chat. Cheers, everybody said. Up the Reds. Always a pleasure to catch up with Dave. It's been far too long. We need to try and hunt Cash down now and get Cash on for a chat as well. What positions do you think we need to make signings on, said Connor Roach. A number 10, mate. A wide forward or a centre forward. Centre back probably. And we'll touch on Ginter as well because I only got a chance to chat about it with Dave. I didn't really get a chance to chat about it with anybody else. And also a fun back. A fun back. There, I've just invented a new position. Everybody, who's your favourite fun back out there in the world? A full back. My head's gone, mate. Sorry. I tell you what, taking these headphones off has really messed up with my hearing. Because they're pressurised because they're noise cancelling earphones, so when I took them off, everything sounds really differently. Right, guys, so on Ginter, we touched on it there with Dave. Liverpool linked with a move for the 25-year-old Borrusia Monchengladbach defender. Anybody yes on this? Anybody no? Anybody seen much of Ginter? Because I have to be honest, I don't know too much about Matthias Ginter. I can already hear October there saying, that's not how you pronounce his fucking name. Apologies, October. I know you hate when I say anything German, but except Der Spiegel. Because I think I've nailed that one, to be fair. Ginter isn't that good, is he? Said Tussie. Mate, I'm hoping to get some information from people in the chat here because I haven't watched much of Ginter. Connor Roach, a good job on 9.4k, Craig. I seen a couple of white Malteser shouts earlier on as well, which was nice. Thank you for that one, Connor, and your mate Danny. Hey Craig, do you hope Arsenal or Tottenham win? I honestly don't know on this. I don't really have a horse in this race, if you know what I'm saying. There's no real... Spurs are gone. They're not in the title race anymore. I know for you guys it's important because if Arsenal drop points, it allows you guys to maybe sneak back into fourth there. I can see a score draw, buddy, but I don't really have a hope either way because, as I said, Spurs I don't see as title contenders anymore, and Arsenal are just challenging for the top four. So I don't know, but I'd love to know your thoughts on it, Bio, and everybody else, of course, in the chat. What do you reckon here for the London Derby, the North London Derby at the weekend? And just let everybody know as well, I will not be going onto Instagram tonight. Won't be going onto Instagram. And apologies that I didn't do a stream this afternoon, but I can't believe I remembered this yesterday, by the way. Full transparency. I remembered this yesterday. Today's my wedding anniversary. Today's my wedding anniversary, so I obviously couldn't do a stream this afternoon. So that's why I'm on here to do a little bit longer this evening. So myself and my good lady are 12 years married today. 12 years married. I'm too old for this. I'm getting too old. Not for the marriage part, but I mean, you know, for just being here, basically being on this earth. I feel so damn old. Imagine Pep buys Fekir, said Pragmaverts. Is there links? I haven't seen anything. Patrice Evra was a great fun back, said Liam Kell. Fun back, I mean, it's just the best position, isn't it? Anne Meadow said, does anybody know how good this Ginter is? Lots of people slagging me off now, and rightly so, taking the piss out of me for... I didn't forget it. I mean, I managed to salvage the situation, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I got there just in time. He had a good season like 2 years ago, said Ninja MC. Not seeing much of him, but I'd say no, said John Hamilton. He can't be that bad. We played for Klopp before, said Ann Meadows, which is a good show. Craig, you missed the super chat. I didn't. I said thank you to Trevor Beattie for the super chat. Yeah, I did. I said it already, buddy. I'm on fire tonight. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Yeah, naughty Craig. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you to everybody for the married at 25. Yep, I am, mate. 19 years with the missus, 12 years married. And yes, as you said, married at 25. Actually, no, was I even 25? Yeah, I would be. Sorry, I'm 38 this year later on. Yeah, 25 as you said. That's, yeah, there you go. Tom said, oh my God, Sabrina, you legend for hanging in. Yeah, She is, and I don't know how she does it, to be fair. Why is Mark Goldridge calling Firmino a lesbian, by the way? I've no idea. I haven't seen Mark Goldridge calling Firmino a lesbian, so I can't comment on it, Smut Beers. Sorry. If I had seen it, I would genuinely comment on it, but I haven't seen it. Are you going to the Sean Cox charity game? Not 100% certain yet, Ninja MC. There's a family shindig, shall we say, going on the same day, so I'm still trying to work around it. And happy anniversary. Thank you, Luke. Who do you like between Celtic and Rangers? I honestly don't really care either way, Skeleton Buddy. I'm not a fan of Scottish football. I don't buy into the whole Catholic Protestant nonsense either, so for me, I don't really mind, mate. Whoever wins, wins. I don't really have a horse in that race either. Shame when you missed the Holden. Forgot the wedding anniversary. Your fate worse than death. No, so I salvaged it, Raptor, mate. I told you, I got there just at the end. Snuck one in the 89th minute. There you go. That's it. That's how you sort this shit out. You're still only a pup, said Martin G. Oh, mate, I feel really old. I do. I feel really old. Lots and lots for us to get through tonight, guys. And stick with me because we can go for another 55 minutes. I've got the nod from the missus to go into injury time tonight. Extra time, a full 30 minutes. Oh, I was on a FIFA stream. Ah, you see, there you go. I mean, I'm not down with the kids, mate. I don't play FIFA, so I'll have to take your word for that one. Just found out my granddad was an Irish gypsy. Blown me away, said Craig Weston. Welcome to the family, mate. Welcome to the Irish family. You're grand now. If Brexit kicks in, you're sound, Craig. You can just get your Irish passport, buddy, and it's all good. Would you ever do a FIFA stream? I don't play FIFA, mate. I don't play computer games. I should do. We've got a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One in the house, but I just don't. I don't know why. FIFA's there and everything. I like Celtic because VVD and the King came from there, which is a good show. It's banter, you guys. It's like saying Raheem was a lady bum. Oh, has a lady bum. Sterling to me always looked like he had a wet. We call it a nappy over here. I know in America they call it a diaper. He always looked like he had a wet nappy on to me when he was running. That was the way I used to take the piss out of him. But look, yeah, as you said, it is just a bit of banter. If you call him a lesbian, then I have heard somebody else say that he looks like a lesbian before. But look. Some people get offended at this type of behaviour or this type of stuff. I wouldn't really class that as offensive personally. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to tell anybody how to feel, so I'm just going to move on from this one. Oh, Pragmaverse, mate, have you nailed it or what? Craig salvaged by Amazon delivery. Nailed it, pal. Nailed it. Your wife's a legend for letting you stay on longer. She is. My wife's just a legend, full stop, mate. You're right. She's too good for my ass anyway. What's your score prediction for the Everton game? 3-1, Corey. I'm going for a 3-1 win for the Reds, but I would love to know your score prediction, please, mate. Raptor, what have we got? Raptor's always floating about. Loads of people always ask me about Raptor. Why isn't he on anymore? Where is he? And I said, keep in contact with him, and he does still watch the streams, believe it or not. Right, let me get through some more stuff. Right, so according to Jurgen Klopp, Nat Phillips is back in training, which is great. After his recent injury. We can do with as many defenders back fit and ready as we can, and Nat Phillips impressed a lot of us during pre-season, and there was high hopes from this season, so great to know that he's back in full training. It was good to see the pictures and the video of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well today, doing bits and pieces in training. Are you flying over in your private jet on Sunday? Yeah, mate. With all this YouTube money that we have, I'm staying in a fucking hostel when I come over in May, mate. That's about the level of YouTube success we're at. You're only as old as the woman you feel, Craig. Unfortunately, Anne, she's the exact same age as me. We're exactly the, actually she's 3 months older than me, so there you go. So I actually should feel older technically. Craig Weston said, "Hey guys, a shout out for Origi. He's warmed the bench all season, and when we needed him most, he performed. Unlike Danny Sturridge," which I have to agree with. Yeah, he did. He performed, and I said the other day when he came on against, was it United? Even though we weren't up to much, he looked quite bright there as well. Siobhan's gone for 3-1 for the Reds as well. And loads of love for Raptor, which is great. Always good to see Raptor pop into the chat. You're next, mister. I've been trying to tie you down to come on as well. And you ignored my message, mate. Norman Road is in. How are you, pal? What's your thoughts on the Arsenal-Spurs game, buddy, at the weekend? It's good. I'm actually starting to remember people that pop in, and if they're not Liverpool fans, who they support now. Go me. I'm proud of that one, because usually I have a memory like a sieve. Gakul said, the lineup, I'd love the same lineup against Watford, but I feel the lack of a wee bit of defensive cover. On that one, actually, guys, maybe now is the time for you to start putting in your lineup for the game. Do you think Firmino's going to make it? Would you play James Milner in midfield, or would you like to see Naby Keita or Jordan Henderson get a show? Sam said 2-0 to Liverpool. Hopefully Firmino silences the haters and a VVD header. Another one. God bless VVD. Did you guys see that Trent Alexander-Arnold got presented with the match ball, actually, after his hat-trick of assists in the game against Watford? Klopp was speaking about this one and he said, that game was exceptional. I don't think I was ever part of a game that somebody had a hat-trick of assists. It was special. He wanted the match ball, so we got it. It was really cool. Now let's try to do something like that again. It was an unbelievable performance from young Trent Alexander-Arnold. Coming back in after being out with injury and after being dropped to the bench for the game against Manchester United, he was sensational. As I said, hat-trick of assists, and there was more on top of that that could have got goals as well from him. He was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Craig's a toy boy, said Tom Boland. Yeah, I keep saying that to her. I'll never be as old as you, love. Never. John Hamilton, same lineup versus Watford for John as well. We're winning the league, said LFC_5. I don't care what anybody says. I'm fucking full of confidence. Fuck City, they can shove their oil up their ass. Brian Morrissey's gone 4-1 for the Reds, so they'll get carried away and lose the run of themselves. At least Barkley isn't there to 2-foot Fabinho to ruin our season. And James Dyson's gone Salah's first goal against Everton, 3-0 to the Reds. Liverpool fan 9 said Origi on the left, Firmino central attacking mid, Mane on the right and Salah to the centre. Craig Weston, let's hope and pray that the Merseyside derby isn't too physical a game and we don't need any injuries. Yes, we don't, you're right, mate. We really don't. Good news on this one, I suppose, is that after the Merseyside derby we've got a week before our next league game, and then we've got 3 games over the space of 7 days before the international break. Sean W reckons Trent is now worth 200 million. Do you know what? It's so great to have him at the club. I can't wait to see him develop. And guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well if you're watching or you're new to the channel. We're on the road to 10k. We're getting there bit by bit, but every single subscriber helps. And by subscribing, you also get a chance to win a couple of signed John Barnes photographs, or perhaps to go into the draw to win that Score Draw Retro shirt there that you can see. So to be in with a chance of doing that, just subscribe to the channel and go over to Twitter and follow at Score Draw Retro. Kakul's gone 4-2-1-3 for the Everton game. Firmino just behind the front 3 and then the same as before. Brian Morrissey's gone Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip, Robbo, Fabinho, Gini, Henderson, and then the front 3 with no Origi. He said that's not my team, but that's what I think Klopp will do. Is it Yarla McGee said, how do you think the London derby will go? Love the streams. Thank you very much for the kind words, mate. Very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. I think a score draw, 2-2, maybe something like that. At a guess, 2-2, 1-1. But I think a score draw anyway. What do you think? Love to know your opinion. Firmino will come on, score and celebrate, holding the good leg like when he scored against PSG, covering his bad eye. That was beautiful. Bobby loves a celebration, doesn't he? Bernadette Farrell said, and this is a good question actually, we can ask everyone in the chat, who's getting the red card on Sunday? If someone's getting sent off, who is it? I'm going for Richarlison. As I said earlier on when I was chatting to Dave, I think he has that little bit of petulance in him, so I wouldn't be at all surprised if he picks up a red. Does anybody know actually? Maybe I've missed this, but I haven't got a chance to see. Who's refereeing the game? Can somebody let me know that one? I haven't researched that yet actually, or has it been announced? Jax Page said, my score prediction, 3-1 to Liverpool, Mane, Origi, 1 for Walcott and then 1 for Salah. He's gone as far as to put in the minutes as well, but I mean, mate, if that comes in, start doing the lotto quickly. Not for the score, I'm with you on the score, but if you get any of those times right, then start playing the lotto straight away. Or if you're not young enough, mate, ask your parents to play it for you, because clearly a Mystic Mac. Paul Ward said 2-2 on Sunday, but City will be held by Bournemouth. We haven't even spoken about that actually. Yeah, we haven't even spoken at all about the City Bournemouth game. I said during the week that I fully expect Manchester City to win that game. Well, like when we played Bournemouth come to play, and they're usually fairly open end-to-end games, and in those type of games I usually back Manchester City just like I'd back us in those situations. Liverpool fan 9 reckons that the North London derby is going to be 3-2 into Arsenal. Forgot Walcott is a player. Yeah, it's easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes. Baby T-Rex for the red card, said the Raptor. Martin Atkinson, is it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Is it Atkinson? It is Atkinson. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm not happy about that one bit, to be honest. But look, it is what it is. Last two refereeing performances of our games have actually been very good, to give credit where it's due. Calvert-Lewin will get a red, said Sam. Who did Joshua say for the red? Phil Jagielka for Joshua. Hello, Craig Egg, said David Allen. Oh, come on. You could dress that up a little bit. Mr. Humpty Dumpty or, Sir Dumpty or anything, Dave, would be better. Thank you for those. Let me know it is Atkinson. I appreciate that. Stieg has gone for Alisson, Trent, Matip, VVD, Robbo, Fabinho, Gini, Keita, Mo, Mane and Origi. And I don't need to ask you your score, Stieg. I'm guessing it's 4-0, buddy. It's usually 4-0. And you were only one off against Watford. We got 2-0 Liverpool, said Corey. And red card for John Joe Kenny for Brian Morrissey. City will batter Bournemouth, let's be real. That's what I said. MUFC Gamer, I'm with you. I said that the Bournemouth are usually a team that comes to play, and in those games they usually get picked off by the better teams like Liverpool, Manchester City, etc. Richarlison, maybe Henderson, Millie, depending on who starts. At Thomas Boland for the red card. Corey, with all best intentions, mate, I'll be amazed if Bournemouth beat Manchester City 3-0. I think we need to be a bit more realistic in our thinking. I'm somebody, though, and I've said this all season, I don't really concentrate on Manchester City's results. I just focus on Liverpool's games, and whatever happens in City's happens. Now, it does so happen that Manchester City are playing before us this weekend, so if they go and get the 3 points at Bournemouth, there is a little bit more pressure on Liverpool ahead of this derby. And my God, haven't the media like to remind us about this derby. My God, haven't the media like to put the pressure on Liverpool. They've all been coming out of the woodwork this week. Pep's been talking, Sterling's been talking. What's that gobshite? Danny Mills has been talking on Sky Sports as well. They're wheeling out everybody to just try and ramp up that pressure on Liverpool. Do you know what? It'll be fucking brilliant when we go to Everton and take 3 points away and just remind everybody this is our title to win, motherfuckers, and best of luck taking it from us. First score will be Milner from a penalty. It'll be a passion-filled game, 2-2 for a Scouse derby. Is Milner on penalties though, Paul, or is Salah on penalties this season? Kev Wright reckons Everton will get 2 players sent off. Doesn't give a shit who. Like me, mate, I couldn't care less either. 2 will do very nicely. Theo Walcott is a myth. He's not even a footballer, said Brian Morrissey. Oh, and Sam reckons Klein to get a hat-trick for Bournemouth against Manchester City. Who's getting the other one? Is Solanke getting the other one? Maybe just to make it 4. Walcott was bought at Arsenal a few days after Oxlade-Chamberlain. Look at the difference. Craig, what up, Craig? When do LFC play Bayern? Not next Wednesday, the following Wednesday. So we've got the game this week. Then there's a round of Champions League fixtures that don't involve us. Then we've got a fixture next weekend, and then Bayern the following Wednesday. So 1 week from next Wednesday, Gavin. Okay, who else have we got? Loads of comments, guys. I'm going to try my best to catch up with them. Excuse me if I've missed some. As I said, I will be on later tonight, so don't worry. The stream is going to go beyond the usual 11 o'clock finish. I'm going to go on till about 11:15 because fuck it, it's Friday, isn't it? Bournemouth batter Chelsea. They'll hold City, said Paul Ward. We all thought City would batter Palace. Look how that worked out for them. All I'm saying, guys, is I'm not expecting anything. If it happens, my God, will I be happy? Of course I will. But I go into every weekend or every round of fixtures just worrying about what Liverpool are doing, and anything else is a bonus. Another clean sheet would be amazing, said Gokul. I mean, it really would. 16 clean sheets. We touched on it earlier on. 16 clean sheets this season has been unbelievable stuff, hasn't it? To concede 15 after, what have we played now? 28 games. LFC_5 said Firmino, Fabinho and Alisson have all been selected for Brazil, even though they're only friendlies. I want the lads to do well. What about the Manchester City players, though? Has anybody got a... And that has Jesus been called? Has the keeper been called? Anybody else they have Brazilian in the squad? Is Danilo Brazilian? Have they all been called? The whole media is against the Reds. It's always been like that. It doesn't even bother me, said Jay Kismet. I think sometimes we all sound a little bit bitter saying that, and I think every I think every fan or every set of fans feels that there is some section of the media against their own club. I think that's fair to say, is it? MUFC Gamer said Everton very inconsistent. I rate Richarlison though. He's gone through a quiet enough period though, mate, isn't he? Sigurdsson seems to be the one that's shining at the minute for the Ev. Milner with his pressing and pace, said Joe Robinson, which is a good show. He set the tempo, didn't he, against Watford, right from the first moment where he closed down the keeper. And Gonad said Mo Salah has taken the last couple of penalties. Guys, I'm absolutely buzzing for this weekend. I really am. I cannot wait. It's good it's on Sunday, but it's a fucking shame it's on Sunday at the same time, because it'd be lovely if it was tomorrow. But we are the later game on Sunday, which is always good. So for anybody, before anybody asks or anything, we will be doing a watch along of the game as always, and that watch along will start at about 3:45 p.m, about half an hour before the game kicks off. Danny, how are you, pal? Great to have you in. Danny Mills, Pep, Sterling, Zabaleta, all talking shite about us. So that was the Zabaleta comment. Sorry, I'd seen loads of people write Zabaleta in, but I didn't know what they were talking about. Now I do. It took Walcott 10 years to grow a beard at Arsenal, and that's all he did. Yeah, maybe when he came in from Southampton, he really was. Everybody just thought he was going to be unbelievable, like the next big thing. Look, I'm not calling him a shy footballer. I mean, he's had a lot of injuries. He moaned about positions he was played in and stuff, but he hasn't hit the levels that is expected or was expected. I think maybe that's fair to say about Theo Walcott. Craig Weston's team: Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip, Robbo, Gini Wijnaldum, Henderson, Fabinho, Salah, Mane, Origi. No. Yeah, I'm still in the midfield. I think I'm going to go with everybody who's going with James Milner. Actually, I think the performance that he put in, and I think we might have got a little snippet because he was substituted. The fact James Milner was substituted makes me think that, you know what, maybe James Milner will be starting in the game against Everton at the weekend. Maybe I read too much into that, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't expect many changes at all, actually. Is Fernandinho still out for City? I believe so, Sean, but I don't want to say 100%. The last thing I'd read, Pep was saying that he's looking at the international break before he's back. Maybe somebody else could comment on that one. Gakul actually has. He said Fernandinho will be back after the international break. No, I didn't stick my fiver on the header, Stig. Loads of people were asking me that at the time. I've been laying off the betting a bit, so I forgot to stick my fiver on. Big international break in June, yeah. There is, but not for anyone. Like, I don't care about international football too much, mate, to be honest. For me, the football season finishes up on May, 12th, when the Reds play. Finishes up then. Unless, of course, there's a Champions League final to come. The great thing about our clean sheets is that not just because of the defence, Alisson's made some brilliant saves as well, said the Raptor. Yeah, it's been a very good display from that back five as a unit throughout the entire season. On the whole Ginter thing, by the way, earlier on, the Ginter... The Calcio Mercato article on Matthias Ginter seemed to suggest that Liverpool were looking at him as a replacement for Joel Matip. Now, when we posted this on the Twitter account, loads of people were coming through it. Why Matip? Why not Dejan Lovren? And I can completely understand that. But for me, and I've said this before, so I'm going to try and be consistent with it, I'd move both of them on. I don't want to say I don't care that Joel Matip has put in a good run of games, because clearly I do care, because he's, it's affected the team in a positive way. But I still stand over the fact that I don't think him and Dejan Lovren can stay fit enough for long enough. So for me, yeah, I would move both on in the summer if we could bring somebody in. And we've got Nat Phillips coming through as well. That's just my opinion though, and I'd love to know your thoughts on both those centre backs. And of course, I suppose we can't not talk about Joe Gomez when we're talking about injuries as well. For Joe, it's been a little bit more unfortunate in that he's picked up some serious long-term injuries, and they're not just little niggly muscle strains and knocks. If we win on Sunday, we'll be top at 9 games to go, said Dave Sweeney. Yeah, 9 games, 9 cup finals. They really are ticking along now. Twin Taurus said, new sub, you'll never walk alone. Come on, you red men, and welcome to the channel, mate. Thank you for subscribing. Samir reckons we'll win all the 10 games remaining and City will lose to Bournemouth. That'll do me, mate. I'll take that very nicely. Odog said the team that we played against Watford won 5-0, so why change it? Which is, you can't argue with that, mate. I'm somebody that really believes in backing players that are performing. Danny reckons Milner, Firmino and Keita maybe. Genie might as well though. It's tough. It's tough to make this midfield call. Jay Kismet said Milner adds that experience to the team, and even though rather he be on the bench, he always gives 100%. Kev Roy wants to just talk a little bit about Mane in the number 9 position, that it worked so well for us, but they might be expecting it this time. And what does everybody else think on Sadio Mane in the 9? Would you like to see him, if Bobby is available, would you like to see Sadio go through the 9 and maybe drop Bobby a bit deeper, keep Origi involved, or what are your thoughts on that one? When will Chambo be back for us? I think maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, cool, you'd start seeing him being introduced in. Again, though, just bear in mind that it's going to take a long time for him to get those minutes up in his legs and get back to full fitness. Is it Yarla? Can you just correct me on this if I'm wrong? I'm not sure if that's an I or an L at the start of your name. Is it Larla or Yarla? McGee. I'd keep the same team. Love Bobby, but that 11 all deserve to start after that performance. Do you think Hendo will start? I don't. I think the more I think about this, actually, seeing Milner come off as a substitute makes me think he might start against Everton, and the Klopp was perhaps saving his legs. But if Hendo does start, I mean, obviously I have no issues with that. Alisson doubled his transfer valuation with that Napoli save. I still have a still of that on my phone, of that save right in that top corner. It was unbelievable. So was his one against United, but this one particularly was just unbelievable. Have a feeling City might slip up against Bournemouth or one of those games, said Yarla. Again, I'm probably mispronouncing your name. I'm so sorry if I am. What about Grujic? He's been brilliant in the motherland, said Anne Meadows. He's been in, or maybe it's your motherland, is it, Anne? Sorry. He's been over in Germany, hasn't he, with Hertha, doing very, very well. And yeah, we can't just forget about Marco Grujic, excuse me. And you're right, we can't just forget about him. I'd seen something that said another loan to a team that's playing in European competition might be likely for Grujic, but I don't know how true that is. And Pragmavert said Mane played in the 9 at Southampton. When Southampton slapped City, Mane was playing 9. There you go. If Mane stays in the 9, we can certainly win the title, said Craig Weston. And Stevie Richards said Mane down the middle as well for Sunday. It's pronounced Yarla, so thank you for that one. So I didn't get too bad then. Or is it Irla? I think you mean Irla. Sorry, I've got you now. I've got you. I'm me being Irish, mate. I should know that, shouldn't I? Irla, there you go. I've nailed it now. I have it. And thank you for being patient with me. I hate mispronouncing people's names. Chambo is set for an under-23 game soon. Big step up, said Stigblom Anderson. If you play well, you should keep your place. That's the Shankly way, said Bernadette Farrell. I have a couple of other little bits of news as well, guys, actually. So, the latest squad lists have been announced for the Liverpool versus Republic of Ireland's Legends game at Dublin's Aviva Stadium on April the 12th in aid of the Sean Cox Rehabilitation Fund. I'm sure everybody knows about this game in my beautiful home city of Dublin at this point. So, the squads are the Liverpool FC Legends are going to include Sander Westerveld, Jerzy Dudek, Glenn Johnson, Paddy Berger, Steve McManaman, Vladimir Smeeter, Salif Jow, Robbie Fowler, Ian Rush, Jibril Cisse and Neil Mellor. And the Republic of Ireland legends Wayne Henderson, Stephen Kelly, Kevin Foley, Sean St Ledger, Kenny Cunningham, Ian Hart, Kevin Kilban, Stephen Reid, Ronnie Whelan, Colin Healy, Lee Carsley, Graham Kavanagh, Kevin Fahey, Stephen McPhail, Liam Lawrence, Stephen Hunt, Damien Duff, Stephen Elliott, Kevin Doyle, Robbie Keane, Keith Andrews and Andy Reid. My God, I think it's fair to say that there's a bigger squad there on the Irish side. There are 4 players who represent both teams on the night, having done so much during their playing days. That's Phil Babb, Jason McAteer, Robbie Keane and John Aldridge. So again, that game takes place on April the 12th, and as you all know, all the funds from that game are going towards the Sean Cox Rehabilitation Fund, which, as I said yesterday, has now passed the €1 million mark. So yeah, and look, if you can support it, or if you can support the Sean Cox Rehabilitation Fund in any way, of course I'd urge everybody to do so. And if you're going to the game in Dublin, I hope you enjoy my beautiful hometown. if you're travelling over, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's quite expensive when you're over here. But it's a wonderful, friendly city. I'm so proud to be from that beautiful city. Enjoy it if you come over. Right, on that one, let's move back to your comments. City looked tired against West Ham, got a lucky penalty, which they did. Even ex-referee saying it wasn't a penalty, but look, shit happens. I mean, you move on. Beautiful Dublin. What? Dublin is stunning, mate. How fucking dare you, Dave? Dublin is absolutely beautiful. I will not have a word said against my beautiful hometown. Anybody who isn't in love with Dublin after coming over needs their head checked. Good lineups in Fergus. In Fergus. I'm gone Irish mad here, Sean. I'm just Asher Turrell lad and all this. Where's me Lucky Charms? Good lineups in fairness is what Sean is saying. Smeeter's last ever touch for Liverpool was the penalty in Istanbul. What a legend. Yeah, fair fucks to him. I mean, there you go. What a night to finish up your career. Time to get rid of Henderson. No more sideways and backwards passing. Well, that's bullshit, Joel. To be fair, the stats even prove it, mate. You're just getting on people's nerves at this point. All the Henderson haters with their nonsense about sideways and backwards passing. It isn't fucking true. Look at the stats, mate. If you don't rate Henderson, that's fair enough. If you want him to move on, that's fair enough. Not everybody likes every player, but I mean, don't just jump on the fucking bandwagon and make up stuff and just go, no more sideways and backwards passing. It doesn't happen. It's not all he does. Every fucking player passes the ball in a circular formation. They pass it forward, sideways, backwards, diagonally. I just don't put up with it. I don't put up with the Henderson hate just for the sake of it. If you don't rate him, fair enough. But to just take a cheap shot with the no sideways and backwards pass and stuff is just, I don't think it's fair, in all honesty. My only worry with Mane is that he might miss chances if he's one of those off days. We're forgetting Salah will be extra motivated by Aguero being top scorer. And of course Salah as well, Sam, will want to break that Premier League record of being the fastest to 50 goals. Dean Coates said, we really need the same again as we did against Watford. Trent delivering the ball in with some quality. They were quality passes, mate, weren't they? Or quality crosses, I should say. Does anybody else think that Sander Westerveld looked like that ego thing out of the moments? I have to say, hand on heart, I could never take the Sander Westerveld. I never liked him. I don't know why. Well, I do know why I didn't like him. Some little bits and pieces that came out of the club as well. But yeah, I just never took to him. My bro lives in Dublin, said Twin Taurus. There you go. I hope he loves it up there. As I said, it is fucking expensive though. I mean, I'm not going to lie about that. If you're ever in Dublin, walk through Temple Bar by all means. But don't go drinking in there because you won't have any money left in your pocket by the end of it. International break on March 20th, said Midnight Football, which is spot on. And we need to be going into that one top of the league, mate, don't we? Do you think we will beat Chelsea and Tottenham? Yes, of course I do. I'm always going to back our boys at home. Don't forget, we haven't lost at home in 35, 36 games, something like that now. So, I don't know about winning both of them, but I don't think we'll lose either of them, if that helps. But I think both teams, us and Manchester City, will drop points between now and the end of the season. And what's important is, if we're the ones who drop those points first, we don't let our heads fall off. If Manchester City get their noses back in front again, don't worry about it. They will have a wobble. Of course, we don't want them to, but I'm just saying, if it happens, don't let your heads fall off. Don't buy into this nonsense that's going to be put out there that we're bottlers, or that the media pushing that Manchester City are just going to push on then and win the title. If it happens, try and keep your heads. We'll all be pissed off, but try and be calm about it a little bit. If it happens, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we keep in front for the rest of the season. Almost at 10,000 subscribers, only 600 to go. Yep, only 600 to go, as you said, and we're 1 year old in March. So if you are watching, you haven't yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, and of course drop a like on the stream as well. I remember Westerveld being out-jumped by Jordi Cruyff for Alaves equaliser in the Westfalenstadion in Germany. That game was nuts, wasn't it? The one that we won with the golden goal. That was crazy. Everybody looking around at each other as if to go, have we won now? Is it over? Thanks for answering my question. By the way, I support Celtic because it runs in the family, and Liverpool because of my dad. Two good sides, mate. I mean, two good teams there to have in the family. Good morning, Rod. How are we, pal? We're going to dominate Everton. There you go. Dominating Everton. See who's just underneath there, Rod? The Raptor. Your comment underneath. He's in the house. Opinion on Glenn Johnson on True Geordie's kickoff, saying Brendan tried to be his version of Mourinho. Glenn said he cringed and didn't like some of the things that he did. I didn't, Sam. I knew he was on True Geordie's kickoff, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really give an opinion. What you're saying there kind of does tie into other things that we've heard people say about Brendan Rodgers, but I mean, having not experienced any of it, I can only go on what's written and what people say. I know Chelsea aren't playing great, but you have to admit Hazard bedazzled sometimes. Very, very sometimes. Pragmaverts, that's the thing, mate. Very, very sometimes. Not enough to be mentioned amongst the very top players in the world for me. There's no doubt he has the ability, but he's just not consistent enough for me. And that's the thing that's always bugged me. And I don't like the fact that he's a sulky little shit as well and goes hiding to get managers sacked and disappears for periods on end. That's just my opinion on Hazard, though. Liverpool to win 4-1 on Sunday, said Shabir. Henderson's important for the Champions League. Always gives 100% under the lights, said Ryan Robinson. Guardiola is prepping his fans for... What's this? Fans and the media for when they drop points. I did notice that, Gonads. I did notice that. He said that if they drop points the weekend, it's grand. It doesn't really mean much. They'll still be right there in the title race. Pragmaverts said, I hate when managers said they don't watch other teams' matches. Yeah, you're right, because they're fucking lying, aren't they? Of course they do watch other teams' matches. They're only human, like the rest of us. I'm sure that they do. Boya, how are you, pal? Great to have you in. You looking forward to the weekend? Everton have the worst defence against set pieces in the Premier League, which I touched on earlier on. I think it was 13 goals conceded, or am I wrong on that? Let me just check. I've got a few little facts that I spoke about earlier on, so if anybody's in late, I'll run through them. Where is it? Yes, Everton have conceded 13 goals from set pieces this season, the joint worst in the Premier League along with Watford. And since 2010, which is Everton's last win against Liverpool, there have been 16 games, or 16 Merseyside derbies, with 7 wins for the Reds and 9 draws, and of course sweet fuck all wins for Everton. 31 Premier League games since the Reds lost to a club outside of the top 6. We've won 26 of those games and drawn 5, which is very interesting actually, because those were the types of teams that Liverpool used to slip up against. And now 31 games without losing to a team outside of the top 6 is a pretty good record, to be fair. And 26 of those wins and 5 draws. So I'll take that, and hopefully that continues this weekend. This Sunday will be the 100th Merseyside derby in league format to be played at Goodison Park. Liverpool have won 33 of those games, more than any other English club to play at Goodison Park. So the Reds won there more than anybody else. There you go. Just goes to show you. We'll rock up there on Sunday and we'll be expecting nothing but 3 points. Dean Coates said Everton have the worst defence. I've just done that one. Mane's twice the player Hazard in. Hazard is. Hazard a face I wouldn't get tired of slapping, said Martin G. Somebody else said... Where is it? Somebody else said Mane is better than Hazard. There he is. Sam said Mane is better than Hazard. Why do everyone's score predictions actually involve Everton scoring, said the Raptor. I think subconsciously, mate, I can only speak for myself here, that you don't want to come across too braggadocious, if that's the word, or too cocky, so you throw them a humble, you throw them a crumb and give them an L goal. That's with me anyway, that's usually what happens. When I see Hazard, I remember him kicking the ball, boy, said Sean W. Opinion on Klopp on Copa 90, saying he'll be in the Cop one day. I did actually see that video, Sam. He spoke about wanting to go and stand at the yellow wall in Dortmund, but he said that he didn't really have much time between that and then taking over the Liverpool job, so he hasn't had a chance to go back and stand on the yellow wall. But he also did say that he'd like to be on the Cop one day as well for a game, and it's always lovely to hear that, isn't it? It really is. Even if he knows it's the right thing to say, it's still lovely to hear it. Boya said, yep, no Klopp Puel anymore. Looking forward to football again with Leicester. Salah will score on Sunday, said Dave Sweeney. He has to, doesn't he? He has to get that record. He deserves it. Once a red, always a red. Klopp in love with the cop, said Twin Taurus. Gonad said the most red cards in the Premier League this fixture has as well. Liverpool or Everton versus Liverpool. Liverpool versus Everton. Okay, where am I? Stephen Richards said, I'll be king of the Alamo, Craig, if we beat the Blue Shite on Sunday, because Stephen, God love him, is surrounded by Everton fans where he lives. Craig also reckons Mane is better than Hazard. Or are you saying you're laughing your ass off because people said he's better than Hazard? I'm not sure which one that is. Sam has predicted 2-0 for the Reds tomorrow. What's the crack, Owen? What's the crack, mate? Couldn't have thought who, pal? I take a 1-0 for the Reds, 95th minute winner. But when does that ever happen, Martin? Absolutely, mate. When does that ever happen? Maybe there's only one man to ask. Little Jordan Pickford and his little T-Rex arms. Jordan Pickford. I still remember the celebration from that goal. Yeah, it was brilliant. I think we all enjoyed celebrating our own way for that goal. It was just... came out of nowhere. Van Dijk slices the shot, gets underneath it. Ball's dropping, looping, dropping. Little Jordan Pickford jumps up, bounces off his hands, off the bar, I think maybe a second time. Origi comes in then, he heads it into the goal, and we all look around waiting for a flag or waiting for some reason to be told that the goal can't stand, and then it hits. It does stand. Liverpool have won. Kloppo's on the field, he's chest bumping and hugging Alisson. Everton hearts are breaking all over the place. Kloppo's going crazy all over the world. 1-0 to the Reds. And now they're trying to underplay it. Now they're trying to twist back around Kloppo's words on him and saying that Kloppo celebrated like it was a World Cup final. Oh, the bitterness. Oh, the bitterness. Those fuckers have that name for a reason, don't they? Mane to score the winner versus Everton. He's got form there, hasn't he? Pragma Verts. I don't want a late winner to Craig Weston. I want to bury them early. I nearly fell out of the Sir Kenny Dalglish upper when that went in, said Gonads. Oh, mate, I would have loved to have been in there. As I said, I've been lucky enough to be to quite a few Merseyside derbies. I was at the 4-0 win. I was at the one all draws where Jagielka scored that undeserved equaliser. I was at the 4-0 win for the Reds when Lukaku did his ACL, I think, in that game as well. But yeah, that 1-0 win, that would have been fucking beautiful to be there. What else have we got? A Gary McAllister-esque winner on Sunday would be perfect. Yeah, somebody pinching 10 or 15 yards as well, Paul, like he did for that free kick. I always love him for that one. Does anybody... of course, everybody remembers that if you're of a certain age, but the one that got us Champions League football, I think, for the first time, Gary McAllister throwing the ball 10 or 15 yards further forward than it should have been and then scoring that goal. Absolute legend. That sounds like a little song, Craig. What? Little Jordan Pickford and little T-Rex arms. Little Jordan Pickford and his little T-Rex arms. I don't know how we can end it, but I mean, there's definitely a line or two in there somewhere. Was in a pub for that goal. Unreal, said on Farrelly. Yeah, that Jagielka equaliser was disgusting, Pragma Verts, mate. I nearly got sick. They so didn't deserve it. I mean, it was an unbelievable strike from Jagielka, but they totally didn't deserve it. Can I speak Irish? No, mate. No, just a very basic few words that I remember from school. No, I can't speak it fluently at all. When we win the league, I'll get an Origi shirt with the 90+6 on the back of it, said Stig. I was at the derby when Rush scored 4 at Goodison. Nice one, Stephen. Guys, last shout on this one before we've got about 10 minutes left, but last shout on this one. As you can see, we're heading towards 9,425 subscribers or something like that. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please take a second to hit that button. And by subscribing, you go into the draw to win one of the 2 John Barnes signed photographs that were given away on Sunday. And also, if you subscribe and you also go over to Twitter and follow at ScoreDrawRetro, you go into the chat. You go into the draw to win one of the ScoreDraw shirts, any of the ScoreDraw Retro Liverpool shirts from ScoreDraw.com. As always, thank you to ScoreDraw for looking after us. I think I have a discount code for ScoreDraw as well. I must dig it out for you guys. I think it's 3 ScoreDraw 10. I'm fairly sure that's it. If anybody wants to go on to ScoreDraw actually and buy something, I'm fairly sure they gave me a discount code. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head. I think it's the number 3, the word score, and the number 10. So 3, score, all uppercase, and the number 10. Let me just put that in the chat. Just to make sure if anybody does want it. 3, score 10. There you go. So I put that discount code in there. If anybody wants to go on the score draw and treat themselves to a shirt or whatever, that'll get you 10% off. I forgot I had that code actually. Bad me. When do you think Keita will score? Hopefully soon. Skeleton May. Hopefully soon. What's the oldest Liverpool shirt that I have? The 1992 centenary shirt. I have that one up in the attic. I also have the 125 one, obviously the recent one. But yeah, the 1992 one is the oldest original shirt I have. The one that you guys see me wearing, the lucky shirt. That's a moody one. That's I think that came from Thailand or somewhere like that. But yeah, the 92 centenary shirt is the oldest one that I have. Because I was a gobshite. I threw away all my old Liverpool shirts when I was a kid. I don't know why. Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Cúpla Focal. Is smart on stream. Suez. Najarg, said Dave McSweeney. There you go. That was Irish, by the way, for anybody who doesn't have a clue what I was talking about. I'm very good, thank you, Blake. How are you, mate? Great to have you in. Do they do all shirts or only Liverpool? Oh, mate, they do. I don't want to say all shirts, but they do England shirts, Scotland shirts, Championship shirts, lots of other Premier League clubs. I can't remember everybody off the top of my head, but yes, they do lots and lots and lots of shirts, mate. And they also do shirts like the, I think some of the older European clubs like AC Milan and stuff like that as well. I think they have some of their retro shirts on there. I just go on and go straight to the Liverpool section, mate, all the time, so. Okay, what else we got? And if anybody does want to check out the site, actually, as I said, it's just scoredraw.com. Really simple. SCOREDRAW.com. Which stadium do you think the derby is more entertaining in? Anfield, obviously, because it's Anfield, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I do like the fact that you see reds and blues sitting beside each other, that you see families split inside the stadium. I do like that aspect of it, I have to say, even though they all hate each other underneath it all for that 90 minutes. I've got a replica 1950 Cup final shirt, really heavy, said Gonads. I've got older retro shirts. I mean, as I said, but the oldest original shirt that I have is the centenary shirt from 1992. I was at the Gladys Street when Rush got 4, said Patbot. Stephen Richards was at that game as well. What a game to be at, mate. What a game. Let me just check my notes. I feel I'm missing something or forgotten about something here. Oh yes, so I have. Virgil van Dijk and Sadio Mane have been nominated for the PFA Premier League Player of the Month award for February. So if you guys want to go onto the Liverpool site, and I think the Echo as well, a few people have links to that. Actually, on our own Twitter page, we have a link to it as well. So Anfield Agenda on Twitter, there's a tweet on there with a link to it. So the previous 2 months' awards have both been won by Mo Salah. So a hat-trick of Liverpool wins will be very nice. So Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk, both up for the PFA Premier League Player of the Month award for February. So get on there, guys, get voting, and make sure that Pogba doesn't win it. Make sure that Sergio Aguero doesn't win it. Make sure that one of our own wins it. I cast my vote for Virgil van Dijk, actually, I have to say. What was your favourite season supporting Liverpool? 2005. Because I was in Istanbul. 2005 was a great season. 13-14 was almost a great season. Last year, I had so much fun last year on the run to the Champions League final. Yeah, but I'd say 2005. Although look, the treble year as well. The Gary McAllister treble year, Stevie G, the game against Alaves, the League Cup final, the FA Cup final. That was a nice year as well. Asian Gamer said Pogba or Aguero for me. True, but the beauty of these things are they're fan votes, so they can kind of be rigged to an extent, I suppose. It depends who goes on and votes. And welcome to the stream, by the way, Asian Gamer. I just said the 2001 treble, Pragmaverse, so I got there a little bit ahead of you. What's my score prediction? Sorry, 3-1, Rod. Just to piss Raptor off, I've given Everton a goal. No, 3-1, Rod, for me, mate. I'd love to know yours, though. Again, I may have missed it. You may have put it in the chat already. Blake likes United as well. There you go, mate. Look, welcome. We've lots of United fans that pop over. We've Leicester fans, Manchester City fans. I think there's even some Spurs fans that come in. But everybody's welcome in the chat. Gini has to be one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, said Irla. I don't think by our fans anymore, mate. I think we're fully aware how good he is, but I think opposition fans still might be underrating him a little bit. But he keeps upping his level, doesn't he? He gets competition brought into that position, and he just keeps upping his performance levels. Liverpool are playing Everton, Asian Gamer on Sunday, 4:15. Watch along for that one. Starts at 3:45, by the way, on here, guys, on Sunday. 3-0 for John Hamilton. The Bunnies gone 3-0 for Rod as well. Well, 3 Bunnies to 0 he's gone with. Allison's number 1. Trent and Robbo on the run. VVD and Joe playing for fun. The midfield loads the gun. The front 3 gets the job done. A song, said Craig Weston. I'm not singing it for you, pal. Who is the defender? Oh, were you talking about the transfer rumour? Let me go back up and just get the news. It's Matthias Ginter, by the way. But so apparently Liverpool has shown an interest in Borussia Monchengladbach defender Matthias Ginter. That's according to Calcio Mercato. They say that Liverpool are thinking about potentially replacing Joe Matip at the end of the season and are looking at Matthias Ginter as a replacement. The 25-year-old has made over 50 Bundesliga appearances for Monchengladbach since joining from Borussia Dortmund in 2017, where of course he did play under Jurgen Klopp. Stephen Richards reckons the Reds are going to have a big clear out this summer. I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens though, because you're hearing conflicting stories. One minute you're hearing no marquee signings for Liverpool, and then the next minute you're hearing there's loads of money there for Liverpool. Klopp can be supporting the market and he can go out there and get players. So it'll be interesting to see. Just give me Timo Werner, please. Hopefully a number 10 as well, and we can build on that. Chris Penfold Ivany said playing unchanged team. I agree with that, Chris. We spoke about that earlier on in the stream as well. It's very difficult to drop any of those players after putting in a performance like they did against Watford, mate, isn't it? 5-0 win and everybody playing fantastic. Hat-trick of assists for Trent, 2 for Van Dijk, 2 for Sadio Mane, 1 for Divock Origi as well. I mean, it is difficult to think about dropping any of them. How has your day been? It's been good, mate. It's my anniversary today, as I said, so a good day. Always a good day when I'm with the missus. He says, just in case she's listening, wink wink. Well, that was only one wink. I'll do the second one. There you go. 2 winks. My lineup prediction. I'm with most people, Skeleton. I wouldn't change a damn thing. I would leave it exactly as it is and let Bobby stay on the bench and recuperate a little bit more, because I mean the rest will do him good for the run in. If he's needed, then perhaps bring him off the bench. Moreno linked to Barcelona, said Owen Farrelly, and I read this earlier as well. This isn't a drill, folks. This is real. Alberto Moreno has realistically and honestly been linked with a move to Barcelona in the summer. Now his contract is up at Liverpool, so we won't see a damn penny out of this, but how funny would that be if Alberto Moreno leaves Liverpool and we all know that he ain't good enough and he goes and signs for Barcelona? That would be an indication that they're struggling at Barca for money or for something, because even if he's only a backup, it's still, let's be fair, he's still not good enough. I really like Origi as a player, said Joseph Stallinger dad. I hope he's a good end to the season, buddy. I do. It would be difficult and there'd be a conversation to be had about what we do with him if he does keep progressing for the rest of the season. Let's go for Isco from Real Madrid, said Krishna. Do you think SpongeBob will go? Yes, 100,000,000%. I think it's only fair that he's let go, because Kloppo has, or he's been very patient and very professional. He thought he was going to get a move away last summer, but obviously we've seen Karius then move over to Besiktas. And there's a story around Karius actually at the minute that they're looking to bring back the keeper that they moved on to Fulham. So that might spell a little bit of trouble for Karius over there at Besiktas. He's on a 2-year loan to buy deal from Liverpool. but he does have to hit certain criteria or certain performances to make that a permanent deal. Who's SpongeBob? It's Simon Mignolet, mate. SpongeBob Squarehead. Don't want to get rid of Origi. Yeah, he's got potential, just needs to unlock it. It's at card 6. I did see that Leicester apparently have 200 million in the summer for Brendan Rodgers to spend. So yeah, you'll be delighted to know you'll be seeing Balotelli, Markovic, Fabio Borini. Who else we got? Iago Aspas might make an appearance for Leicester as well. Enjoy them, enjoy them, buddy. I'm only joking, but yeah, I did read the story about the 200 million. Amandeep's going 3-2 to Bournemouth against City. I don't think so. I hope so, but I can't see anything but a City win, as I've said. I just want us to concentrate on our performances and our fixtures and see what happens after that. But if you're right, mate, of course I'll be over the moon. Is that an early kickoff tomorrow? Actually, I haven't checked. Camacho can play on both flanks as well, so Pragmaverts. Asian gamers' heads falling off. Moreno to Barcelona. I know, even saying it sounds all kinds of wrong. Rod said, I'd sign for Liverpool, but the commute isn't convenient. Any offers upwards of $23.5 million will be considered. Right, we'll get the paperwork in place, Rod. Do I do YouTube full time, mate? No, the channel's too small, mate, to do anything like that. We're less than a year old, but no, I don't do this for the money either. To be fair, I do it for life experience, believe it or not, to get to know Reds and hopefully get some travelling done over time. My dream is to follow Liverpool on a pre-season tour around Australia and Asia, and if I can save up and do that sometime, then I can take that one off the bucket list. United Stand gave a big boost to the channel, to this channel. Yes, Mark has been very supportive of us over here. He's been very kind to us. He's brought us on a couple of times as well. We have got a couple of subscribers, or a few subscribers, I should say, from the United Stand. So, yep, I certainly won't disagree with that one. Moreno wouldn't be a sale as he's a free agent, which is what I said a few minutes ago. Although you could be replying to somebody else. I owe somebody an apology before I finish up this stream. Justin.y, I think it was yesterday. Somebody said, I threw him out of the chat because he said, "Are you blind?" And I thought he was talking to me, and I thought he was talking about me missing his comment. But he wasn't. He was talking about somebody in the chat missing something else. So for that one, I sincerely apologise, Justin, mate. I don't know if you're watching. I unblocked you, so you can comment on the streams from here on out. I did that last night. But if I make a mistake, I'm happy to hold my hands up. Sometimes I misread situations on here. Chat moves so quickly. I try my best to be fair to everybody, but I was wrong on this occasion, Justin, and I do apologise, mate. I couldn't let the stream go by without saying that. If I'm wrong, I will always hold my hands up, mate, so apologies on that one. Playing Mane central striker with Origi left wing give Bobby a reason to up his game, in my opinion, said Paul. City's a 3 p.m. kickoff, Stevie. Thank you, pal. I keep calling you Stevie. I don't know why, but I've just given you the name Stevie. I know your name's Stephen, but now you're Stevie all the time. I don't know why. Spurs Arsenal's the early kickoff, Chris. Thank you for that one, pal. What's your favourite Liverpool kit of all time? It is the Crown Paints one just before it changed to Candy. So you know the one that we had 1 year in the Crown Paints kit and 1 year in the Candy one. Was it 1987-88 or was it 87-88? I think it was. My first ever kit though was the 1988-89, the grey Candy one with the flex. That was the first shirt I ever got bought. But what's yours, mate? Love to know yours. Couple more minutes, guys, and I'm going to knock it on the head for tonight, if you don't mind. Stevie is my nickname. Well, then there you go. There you go. Nailed it. Redknapp loves taking the foe everywhere he goes. Rodgers is going to take Sinclair with him and maybe the Welsh Xavi. Oh, that's it. Get the chickens ready. The Welsh Xavi, the vegan superstar that is Joe Allen. Fair play, Craig. Hey, look, mate, if I'm wrong, I get stuff wrong occasionally, and I'm not arrogant enough to not say when I get things wrong. I'm always happy to hold my hands up. I hold everybody to a certain standard in here with how they treat people and show people respect, and I hold myself to that same standard. So if I'm ever wrong, I will put my hands up and admit to it. The green candy LFC top, threw it away when I was a kid. Always regret doing it. I'm Kev, mate. The amount of kids I've thrown away over the year. Oh God, the green and white chessboard one from 1996 with the grandfather collar. Still my favourite Liverpool away shirt. Except for the grey candy one is my favourite one because it evokes memories. But the green and white one is my favourite one from just loving the shirt. That was a great shirt. My favourite kit was last year's because of Mo Salah. Completely get that. What else have we got? Divock Origi hat-trick against the Blue Shite, said Louis. Blake, talk to you soon, mate. Thank you for dropping in, mate. My favourite is the green away kit from a few seasons ago, but it's not worn on match days. Anti-lucky shirt. I didn't know there was such a thing as an anti-lucky shirt, Dave. 1970s crew neck home shirt is my favourite, so Paul Turner. Who's Liverpool's highest earner as a player? I think is it Mo Salah, or is Mo Salah, Mane and Firmino all on the same wage? I know they all signed new contracts during the summer. I think 200 grand a week or 250 grand a week, I think, is the amount. But I could be a little bit wrong on that. But I think it's somewhere between 200 and 250 grand. I know you said you're a United fan, Asian gamer, so what do you think of the fact that David De Gea wants 450 grand a week to sign a new deal because he wants the same money as Alexis Sanchez? That was always going to come back to bite United in the ass when they gave him that money. And you can't begrudge him it because he's saved United for season after season. I'm going to start stream for the beginning of the week. When it's finished, catch up, said Lee. Lee, thank you for dropping in, mate. Favourite kit was the green Carlsberg away kit worn by Macca and Co, said Antoango, excuse me, mate, mispronouncing your name. This is how tired I am. Excuse me, Antoango. I mispronounced your name. I apologise for that. Do you think Divock Origi will start? Yes, I do. I think he deserves to start, and I think maybe giving Mo a bit more of a rest to heal up will be fine. It's Salah, Firmino, Mane, said Joseph, 200 grand a week. And thank you, Antoine. I hate getting people's names wrong, but sometimes the chat moves so quickly and I'm trying to read so much stuff that I kind of skip through stuff, and I do apologise. 450k just despite City. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? 450k is enough for De Gea without he'd be relegated by now. Look, he's a class keeper, best in the world in my opinion, but the starting to have to play players that much because of Alexis Sanchez is not a good sign. But look, United are, they're a wealthy club, to be fair. De Gea deserves 10 times more than Sanchez. What has Sanchez done for that other than be a free transfer? He's absolutely fucked United's wage bill. Yeah, shame, isn't it? My favourite kit is the green one from the 4-1 at Old Trafford, said Amandeep Singh. Origi to do a Maradona and Everton and skill past 6 players. Guys, look, I'm going to call that a night. I will be back tomorrow and we will do a proper rundown, a proper preview of the Everton game. Of course, starting on Sunday, 4:15. So I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. I'll try and get on tomorrow at 4 p.m. to do a news video. I should be able to. There's no reason why I shouldn't. So I'll try and get on to do that. Until then, thank you so much to everybody that joined us tonight. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Because we are on the road to 10k. We have 11 days left to go. And we need 577 subscribers. So if you can help us out in any way, whether that be shouting us out elsewhere, letting people know about the channel, please do. I really would love to hit that for our 1 year anniversary. Anyway, guys, look, I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And up the motherfucking Reds.